All right, we're going now. Hey guys, wanted to do a quick update for Nichole. This is just going out to Nichole's caregivers. We've updated their programs, or Nichole's programs recently. You may have noticed some of the confusion. We had Tiffany come up and kind of revamp some of the programs. And some of the task data entry sheets that you're using might have been a little confusing, so I want to do a quick video to clarify everything. I can't emphasize enough how important the documentation is for Nichole. That's how she gets this benefit of being independent in her apartment, is through this documentation that we can prove that she is progressing and doing things on her own. So it's important that every single one of you is documenting. We've had problems with just a few of you being really good at it, or most of you are hit or do a real good job, and then there might be a little bit of a lag. So I need to emphasize every single one of you, if you're on the schedule with Nichole, whether it's the graveyard, the middle of the day, whatever it is, you need to be documenting things in the binder. So I'm going to go over that really quickly so there's no confusion. I'm going to be mailing this binder to the home today. Today's Monday the 21st. It should be there by Thursday the 24th. And the way you can know if the new ones are in there is we have a new program for Nichole that is called 32 ounces of fluids. Since Nichole's supposed to be drinking 32 ounces of fluids, I don't know if you can see that there. We're going to have that new program in there. So we're going to take out all of the old programs and put these new ones in the pink binder in the home. And I'm going to work with Jen to hopefully get all that in there this week. So look for that. Okay, so first thing, I put in some extra copies of the client care plan. So these are just extra copies right here in front. I also put in some extra copies of the progress notes. Client care plan, you've all seen this. This needs to be done every day. When you do something on this, you need to initial, sign down here at the bottom once a week. No changes there. But there's a lot of things on here that, or once a week or daily, things like that. Just make sure you're initialing every time you do one of those things. It's so important. On the weekends, nights, whatever, if it's something that's on here, make sure you're initialing it. Even if you do it a couple of times a day, just write your initials really small in there so that we know that you're doing that. And then the progress notes, as everyone knows, those are the notes that we use, that we communicate messages to the next caregiver or to Jeanette. If she comes in and wants to know what's going on, you can leave notes in the progress notes. So we're going to put all this in the pink binder when it gets up there this week. Until then, keep doing what you're doing, marking it down on the notes that are there. But these are just extra copies. And then the part I really want to talk about next are these programs. So these programs will replace the current programs that are in the binder. You'll notice there's a lot of similarities. For example, the chore list is a program that she's previously had and will continue to have to help her progress and get better at her chores. What we want to do is increase her independence in chore completion and doing her chores herself, and decrease the failure to complete daily chores. So one thing we're going to try this time around is we're going to say, okay, Nichole, you need to choose your 5 chores that you want to do for the day. And she can choose and, kind of help her. If you've done one for a lot recently, like you vacuumed the last 10 times, maybe try to choose a different one. But, of that list of all the chores there, choose 5. And then what you want to do is, there's 5 chores. Here, I'll kind of go like this. There's 5, there we go, 5 slots for chores. And she gets a point for every chore she completes each day. So this is going to simplify your life a lot. It's either a yes or no on most of these now, instead of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either yes, it was done, or no, it wasn't done kind of thing. So, for example, if she chose 5 chores and she completed 3 of the 5, she would get a point on chore 1, chore 2, chore 3, and then she'd get a 0 on chore 4 and chore 5. So she'd get 3 out of 5 for that day. Does that make sense? If not, we'll work with you, but it should be a lot less complicated than the last one. We also added a spot for more than one caregiver to initial. So there's 2 places to initial. Again, month, day, Each day and each of the month needs to be listed, and then your initials right there for the chore program. So that's the chore program. The next one is the decrease interruptions. Nichole has a tendency, as you know, to interrupt people when they're talking. She has been getting better at this, but we need to continue to help her improve. What we want to do is have a goal of 10 or less interruptions per month. That seems like a hefty goal, but I think Nichole can do it. She's been getting a lot better at this. And so what we're going to do, this one's really similar to what we have, but it's been just reformatted. Basically, she gets a negative 1 every time she interrupts someone. You don't have to record when she doesn't interrupt someone, just when she does. So if she does interrupt someone during a conversation, put -1, write out the reason, and any consequences, like, you know, this happened because Nichole was interrupting, so we were unable to do whatever. So, you know, list the previous events or observable behavior just like you did before, but then just keep a score of -1. Again, we're trying to keep that under 10 per month. We do, and what we want to see is her progressing. So if she has 20 interruptions the first month and 15 the next, we're seeing a progress. It's not so much that we have to have it to 10. We just want to see her getting better. And that's where you guys come in. You really help her progress and correcting that behavior. And on the program, it talks a little bit about what to reinforce so she doesn't keep interrupting. Okay, the next one. Now there's 6 programs that we're working on for the next 6 months with Nichole. Those are the first 2. The third one is medication administration. Obviously, we can't get rid of this one. She's got to have her meds. So what we're doing here is 90% independence is her goal. We want her to get as independent with her medications as she can be. So what we've done is she gets 1 point per task that was successfully completed with no assistance. Write a 0 if Nichole needed assistance completing the task. So she either gets a 1 or a 0. So for example, if she remembers to wash her hands, she gets a 1. If she forgets, she gets a 0, and you remind her, obviously. If she locates the day on the med box by pointing to the correct day, she gets a point. If she doesn't, she gets a 0. If she can locate the correct time, she gets a point, 1 point. If she can't, she gets a 0. And if she waits patiently while the staff dispenses the medication, she gets another point. So she can have up to 4 points a day, or 4 points every time she takes her medication. And if she's taking morning and night, you want to do it both for morning and night. You want to record it. There's a spot for initials, 2 spots each time, and you could just write 1 and 1 just in one column. Just keep it small. I know there's not a lot of room to write, but that way we can record how she's doing, even if it is twice a day. The next one is street safety. This one's changed a little bit. Previously it was walk, don't walk, crosswalks. What we'd like to focus on now is cross, don't cross, by looking both ways to see if there's cars coming. This is where you might come to an intersection without a stoplight. It's more of a stop sign. So what we're going to do now, when you get these, read through all the programs again so you get familiar with what's being done. But basically, she gets a 1 when Nichole looks both ways and correctly responds to cross or don't cross the street. So if she looks both ways, sees there's no cars coming, and she says, yep, it's time to cross, she gets a point. But you're going to put a 0 if she forgets to look both ways or if she responds incorrectly. For example, if a car's coming and she says cross, you say, no, Nichole, there's a car coming, we can't cross right now. When you get back to the apartment, you write down a 0. You need to write that down every time you're out. We want to have her out doing street safety as much as possible. So I know the van's there, but you know, I know the bus comes by regularly. I know you guys walk around quite a bit. So please remember these instances when she's crossing the street so that you can record her progress on how she's getting better with looking for cars and knowing when to cross and when not to cross. Okay, second to last thing is simple purchase. This one's pretty much the same, except we've increased the goal from 80% to 90%. So we're hoping that for the next 6 months she can get to 90% accuracy with her programs. So put a 1 if the task below was completed without assistance. Put a 0 if you had to assist her with the task. Pretty simple, 1 or a 0. Did you have to help her with, for example, deciding what she wants to purchase? If you did, then you're going to put a 0. If she knows what she wants to purchase, then you put a 1. Pretty simple. It's either 1 or 0, and you basically try to let her have as much independence as you can, follow the tasks, and try to improve upon where she's been. Okay, the last one is 32 fluid ounces. This one's new, so pretty self-explanatory. You can read through it, but it's either a 1 or a 0. A 1 is if Nichole drank 32 fluid ounces that day, and a 0 is if she did not. We want Nichole to make sure she's filling up her water bottle and taking that around and taking drinks throughout the day. By the end of the day, whoever's working the night shift, you should know whether she's drank before she goes to bed, if she drank the 32 ounces that day or not. If she did, you put a 1. If she didn't, you put a 0. Our goal here is that she has a 1 on almost every day. She needs to either have a 1 or a 0 on every day. We can't miss a day, but we want to make sure that she is getting better. So with drinking, and you can tell her how important to be hydrated is and things like that. Also helps with her good health to be drinking 32 fluid ounces. So that's the binder. Look for this information to be in the new pink binder. I'm going to mail it up today, hopefully be there by Thursday, and that'll help reduce any confusion. Again, I need to just emphasize every single caregiver at Nichole's has to document. If you do not document this, we cannot pay you going forward. It's just so important. We can't get reimbursed if we don't have the documentation, and therefore it just trickles down. So please, please, please document everything you're doing with Nichole. I know it's tedious, but you are getting paid for your time. And hopefully with these 6 programs, it'll go a little quicker for you, and you don't have to worry about all the old ones. But just those 6, make sure you're doing all the time, in addition to the client care plan, filling that one out. So if you have any questions, please call me or call the office, and we can walk you through anything you have any questions with. Appreciate all you do for Nichole. She really is one of our very, very most important clients, and we love her, want to take really good care of her. And so if there's anything at all that she needs or you think would help her, please don't hesitate to call us. Hopefully this video kind of helped a little bit. As always, if you're a newer caregiver with Nichole, you can ask one of the caregivers who've been with her for a while how to fill out the information. They'll know and can help you walk through that for the first time, or you can always call us. So anyways, thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.